as a Chelsea or European competitions, man. In his last 7, Wajimu 6. And before the game, now records and the records going around near 1. Spanish club bia any foreign team bia boy from 201 and will lose against the foreign team. Into a date back to major European trophies. Eba be pim draw a game no. Into Robert is no more big confidence going into the games. A record eba kiom. By a making statements, a conference league na starting chair. And teams on my community teams are first time or mutimi do final or mutimi edge. So conference league you need that history of the Europa and the Champions League. Into say, oh, this anya money be related. I want you look here. You would find yourself wanting. And Chelsea during that period, so also against any foreign club in any European competition on Konkolusu. So on the night, 2 teams were coming in a game and everybody had that history backing them on the night. I think Robert is quite be so injury say how mu pa. Indra me who say Adrian the best start here mom na mu say Chelsea has a lot of chance to defeat Robertis. Adrian a goalkeeper be a quality or a very good, but his decision making at the back were very poor. Yebra game Numa will explain on 3 occasions bad decision of making a cost state team a friend Robertis. Osho mo lineup I think play a friend on Sabali. He was very solid in the first half and very solid in some part of the second half. But do baby, I think the time as Jadon Sancho Bemu. Now Jadon Sancho is more of the ball in the shiao or be trim or be like you make mistakes on trying to defend. Then at the back where hand but I think in the first half Enzo Maresca in the lineup very wrong. And so I say we count her every time say Malo Gusto the strength overlapping and doing crossing. Or you obi onim go share. Or you obi the passing range in that quality. But overlapping, on create that space on the wide line. No making sure so on get the box, on get the balls into the box for the striker to now score near the back where any major strength. Into starting Malo Gusto and Drami who say he was the one getting into the middle to receive the balls while the back I was a bit disappointed in Enzo Maresca doing that. And especially in a final. One thing about European finals is that if Chelsea were to meet any of the top European teams, the Real Madrid, the Barcelonas, the big teams in European, you wouldn't get the second half to redeem yourself. The first half now be punish you. And in the first half, you chances are Real Betis creative they couldn't punish Chelsea. In the first half, say Real Betis are more clinical. They could have scored Chelsea by 3 goals in the first half because of errors coming from one Malo Gusto. And Indra, those Caicedo one of Chelsea's best player with disposing of the ball, tackles, interception. But Ebane passing, receiving that ball, and now turning it into that final third passing. Now enko. It's Indra, Caicedo, when the passes or disposing passes baby, which was something that it was wrong. So I think going into the game,
that's like, misplacing a lot of
passes. Which was something I think was.
So Indra, you discuss what I say. The first Romeo Lavia would not play,
so
and we will not get a player to they were pressing with 5.
Pressing, yes.
Yeah.
So Gusto, the first ball received a mistake by didn't resolving anything. The second ball and also to me disposing echo before. Then the third ball and there's that error leading to the goal nearby. So I think in the second half, taking him off, Maresca explained he said after that goal, no, he was off. But taking him in the first half for now, it will look some way into not change. And I think the plan was to get Reece James at least a 45 minutes or even a 30 minutes into the game. But once in Duana, we discuss it's either he will start the game or come in later because of the injury record. No, and I think the first half Chelsea were so flat, trying to move the ball now about a problem. Enzo Fernandez, Kopama getting into the box, now a problem. They coming back to receive the ball, now a problem. Noni Madueke, Pedro Neto, they were finding it very difficult to take on their players. Nicolas Jackson dropped 1 or 2 creating chances, but still it was that problem for Chelsea. So Chelsea backline now. Apart from Marco Kurela, Utimi Anthony, the next person was Badneshe. Now Utimi passe, that is the Caicedo Gusto. Defensive pair with DM pairing, no Utimi distributed ball ni Ako Enzo any Palmer. But I think that yellow card was one reason I need to do baby. Now say Enzo Maresca to me because you go down. If you go a man down again, and one is the end of the game. But a top coach is the one who goes into halftime and now reform his team. No, I'm making sure say Nyama betimi akoye. So in the second half, that crucial change for Reece James coming in for Malo Gusto, and also later na game ne stretch, na James saying they'll be introducing Jadon Sancho, Ababi, Pedro Neto, which I think Pedro Neto playing on the left wing, it's terrible. One more saying the right wing. I think the right wing, he now gets into the position of Onim 9.5 ball.
He was terrible against Rodriguez. 36-year-old Rodriguez one take on back.
And I don't blame him. I think the wingers in the game and Kasa couldn't add more to the game. But on say one thing I must say about the Chelsea setup, they say the moment there is that momentum with a goal, everybody starts clicking together. In the time that Enzo Fernandez goal nearby, you could see say the team were reformed into a new type of system. They were playing so well, and that is one thing about Enzo Maresca going forward. This final, though said they lost the first half and came back in the second half, and they won the competition. But the major thing that every Chelsea fan should pick from this game, they say they were able to turn that 1-0 deficit into a 4-1. Meaning, say these boys would go into the FIFA Club World Cup. They will go into next season thinking that okay, you bet me at 10 things around. Anytime I hear, if we can come together as a team and do. And Cole Palmer is one player. I think sometimes the critics know also. He's just a 23-year-old boy, and Afina about Chelsea and wait me about like full season. It me about more games under any club. And these are times he's a human being. There are times maybe any football issues, maybe family issues, other issues in the house can make him go off. It do baby I say in that time, man. Especially on the way we criticize him. He's not that of refined play or me running into the box, doing those maybe Lionel Messi, Ronaldo type of gimmicks in games, but he picks his moment and makes sure say he delivers. We hear Chelsea team, he's one of the most dribblers. They are very effective. They are very effective on the game because he adds more into his game. Indra with two crucial crosses, he was able to make sure say Chelsea that 2 crucial goals to make sure say they get into that particular position to win the game. Nicholas Jackson on the night, blow cold, blow hot. I didn't make us say the goal he scored was a striker's goal. As a striker, who he say you get the ball perfectly to be able to score. A baby remember pim on Finkra and a besha ashe. And no to me here, but that second chance on driving the ball from the center line. You mean name him say in modern football as a professional striker. We pian ball and so back, we pian so me. The third one, you are getting closer to the post. You unfa one no ball so one chemu and now debate me a level ball. Then you get the level I say ball short and maybe Abema pass. But or the 9 moon and that is where I remember into Adrian. So he was one of the worst players on the night for Team FN Robertis. One, the Enzo Fernandez goal, he mismatched his steps. And Tunas Ago by if he stood aware now Ujinana, he would have gotten the chance to parry the ball out. And that Nicholas Jackson ball, he slipped even before coming out. It was Jackson being poor on the ball. Because at the moment he slipped, Jackson didn't 9 chain to me for a ball now. Obey me pija ball now for so. And that Nicholas Jackson go no sunshine. You can't be at that near post and not think about receiving the player receiving that ball at that particular point. After the game, himself Pellegrini can't be on injuries. They affect him. But on the night, Chelsea were brilliant. You can't go into final and be crying about injuries. Yes, I didn't know football. Right. Chelsea were brilliant and they were able to turn things around. Enzo Fernandez now was 8 goals with 13 assists. I think that was something that Chelsea fans need now. Say he could add more goals and assists than the team are European champions. I didn't think there's a lot of conversation because we say Chelsea and just Omeni on this conference league Omaji. I think those people saying that thing is just they being jealous of the squad. We're Chelsea squad. We apart from Chaluba, any Rhys James or Metimia tasty European trophy. Players will be Omumpa. This is their first trophy or magic in their professional career. If they are able to win at this young age, they would be happy. So they should just leave Chelsea. They've completed football, winning everything in Europe, and they deserve it. Into any Chelsea fan, any person be or be rejoice on this day, and they can do it because they are deserving champions and they commit me.
All right.
Yeah, Listo. I think that finally, to the boy level, they would have something to laugh and also be happy about. And I say, we are winning the Conference League is something that maybe anything extraordinary be. But the thing is, when you look at how almost started your projects, how a lot of people have been laughing at them, spending money, buying chows, and they know whatever they are doing. And in fact, this too, sometimes I will check it. All starting a project I am not adding here because whatever you are also doing, other people are also doing same projects because Liverpool, Man City, a competition. So you can do a project, it will be in the pipeline, but you see, the specific team now your project, it makes it even very difficult to do it. Ednra, maybe explaining how Rebet is for ball game. I'm get high press, I'm about high line. So we a team a bit me a bit on high press now. A danger mom, and I even used a game against Barcelona, Barca 5-1. Share teams are more players who are good to beat high press now. They seems to suffer. Into the virus and pictures in into Sumami. The first picture, no, which is how I not almost started almost press. No. And in this game, how almost press be no, I'm sure say they do a 4-2-4 press. And I mostly almost making sure that they have 6 players doing their press. Into no here picture now. Ideally, they have 6 players doing the press, but this press was narrow. They were doing a narrow press because at that time, Malo Gusto now was saying Homa. Update no econo so no. Malo Gusto no mum I invented by Finfin. In the name one update mum Coco Palmer side because he is blocking any channels to find Enzo Fernandez and Copama. Ntubaka enwa. Make us if Chelsea can beat Rebetiza, Copama, any Enzo Fernandez, they will be ideal players because these are players in terms of vision. Any players who can play that passing, these 2 players. Into area, Isco, Bamako, is it Bamako? Almost striker and Tuntum. The almost striker, Bakambu, sorry.
Yeah.
Isco, Anthony, Pablo Fornals, and I drop it deep, saying or blocking the pass from Badiashile. No one said Badiashile ball some 3 piercing passes. Now I caught to Enzo Fernandez. So the plan was to bait them when Ebasan. So the Chelsea defenders were forced to play the ball to the air Palmer. And I say Enzo Fernandez. Into I always on my pressing Chelsea players so high. Now virus on first the second picture and so. And then you check his second picture. This is always Badiashile elbow ball and Enzo Fernandez. So who are Ubiashi Gamu say Badiashile ball almost 3 or 4 this passes say Enzo Fernandez several times. And you see, despite the fact that time I know Munyanche gone, Chelsea knew how these people were going to press because Enzo Maresca when he came here where said or Kakubo game of the opponents and Hadia Miyozevia know that he was going to do that same thing. And Adibakwa only Robert Isubon said anytime we are open to press, they have more men in your half. So the moment I will midfielders, that pivotal midfielders now make press on high, they will have Anthony, Isco, Bakambu, Pablo Fornals, and I say update. I'll share go no. So any given time, you have Lusubo and Biano. Isco a place pass or they might update Bakambu, Anthony. If they are able to finish the ball very well, the gem. Intene virus for the second picture and the third picture and so and to sumami. Intene the third picture and so was another gamer but their shield as I find Enzo Fernandez or that same space in the fourth picture. And so I bet you how the Chelsea players if I'm press someone as a born Cody Gusto Enzo Palmer is making the run, Enzo Fernandez is also ready to receive the ball. So the Chelsea plan working very well. But the thing is when go nearby they were good by Caicedo mo right now they were forced to find Enzo Fernandez because Ebans other defenders no pressure about Thomas, but Rashid don't want to play any 40 pass near now about 2 jump. Same as Trevor Chalobah. So Caicedo ne Malo Gusto, they were forced to do that. And passes not going now because Bakambu is coming now, I'm blocking all these channels. And there was one thing not Chelsea players because Enzo Maresca, you don't have to play the ball. Because even Copa Macro ball no touch now, because Massa Nyanto Basina Bobo Nebra. And it was something that Chelsea players try say on and after Osha Malo Gusto game now. In fact, now inversion now no oil. Whenever Betis Enya in possession, he was finding it very difficult to stop update. And no update mechanism. That's Spanish international.
No, or Morocco.
Or we are not about Morocco. And then they obo Basa. This player, he is very good. So Kushawa no pace is not where they say and from invention to go and defend from the wide areas was very difficult for Brent and the Malo Gusto. And then the second half regimes by a boy Chelsea or the composure and up the prefim that 19-year-old boy, he wasn't even a competition for regimes. See James there didn't to baby and right now Chelsea went in attack. About attacks were how Chelsea set it up. You know, Enzo Maresca or set it up in team. The wingers near very wide. So if we defend here, we full back, any one of we full backs and team can join it. Team can box. And see, never was for the last picture and 2 women. Osha Sancho wide. Noni Madueke wide. And Enzo Fernandez, any Branton Eddie Jackson. Always be if 2 center backs and now make 2 center backs. They like to defend say the main striker now want to share team on to top because they don't know how movements is there. And then Nicholas Jackson movements was super money mankind. Ni runs was super pioneer. So go na Copa Mashawasha. When Copa Mania born and they left back don't want to close on Kopama. Right now the number 6 Bakwafa Enzo Fernandez. One East Coast will resume Sechia also Eba. And a Palman Kwano, he has 2-3 players on him. And other players will decoy saying when the ball goes to Noni Madueka and they also playing the high line. So the only option for Copa one say Obeba ball into the half space channel at that box. He has 2 players running into the channel and then they say Onkoa Obeko white to Abrantandi Eddie Jadon Sancho. So Nicholas Jackson movement to the first pole Echomu defenders but just to leave Enzo Fernandez and no defender that was as in Salabi into a 1v1 situation area ball no ekoto Enzo Fernandez or head ball and I think that the movement from Andraino he didn't know where the ball was going to actually now Junior say Enzo Fernandez would send the ball to the far post so make he attempt echo left that is why and it's about 8 mission. I think that it was poor decision from the goalkeeper and Chelsea is 8 mission. So the second goal
is it not the defender because I think Sabali.
No, I'm talking about the final ball now. Oh, but because once na money man Ekamba and Andran say why nyade. And me
I think head that way to
and I'm
head no
Andran make key attempt say once ball the buy and ideally say ball call far end that the player will head the ball to that end.
And I share Andran position to Siano. One position no Jinan. It was the perfect position for him to receive the ball because no closely that is the far post no. But before ball ne ba no. Na minim say Nicholas Jackson ran no. Emane Fele say okay, obetimi afine Nicholas Jackson into your bar ne left.
O make a step
to the left side. Now for the ball ni china ba be anything. So I think goalkeeping side Senya na Robertis with Pellegrini kanu. Injury say how muye because with Andrian so watch my last 5 games or that pool na go see the channel no nyame nim no ni enye.
Yeah. And again Listo Chelsea finally they won the game. I'm happy say Jadon Sancho share no I say each Sancho eba mu be share. Anytime Manika can say when Sancho came to Chelsea this is a player when he was coming to United that time Chelsea was chasing him but he chose United project. He scored 20 goals, he provided 20 assists. Or yeah, one of the players are technically Chelsea wingers no. There's no technical player. Oh you good. Oh who pass now. Obama Nicholas Jackson cause and Listo. That was when he near counter attack. In terms of passing, he's good at that. In terms of dribbling, that footworks, natural footworks, or also Chelsea wingers. And another back say, Oba United will lose confidence. No, he's that player. He doesn't want to spoil possession. So Oba lose possession. It's either a goal and or making an assist. Into Oba Chelsea, no, but lose confidence. This goal, this is not the first time Oba Chelsea such an killer against Tottenham. He did it, and against one of the teams. So both PCS 4 times this season. And they have to give him the confidence there. Just play. And I think that I'm happy that he's got a goal. Nicholas Jackson, I'm also happy that he also got a goal. Cole Palmer and at least two was in the final since January. Or share goal, babe. And that 2 goals in the final, man, the first player to provide 2 assists in the major European final since Marcelo with Madrid in 2018. And then I'm happy for Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo. Last season, these players on picture or be posted on picture on social media, then they'll be talking about price tag. Now people don't even talk about that 100 million price tag anymore. They've been solid in terms of Enzo Fernandez. We're improving our goals and assists. And the new role Enzo Maresca Abono, because you say Enzo there, apart from Argentina, but that 2 people and he's one of the players that to me decided the tempo of the game. But this season, running into the box has been something that if he's not doing that, not Kukwela Kreya, it's also ball on Enzo Fernandez. No, and again, picture Bakubi, now Kamesa Kakwajume team that saw him. Jackson, any agent, Kamara. I ono kokoye a scouting tournament. E koma Casa Sports for whom the Senegalese name. Oh, mo fa nyame admo ochina na e koma ba behwe Jackson ma Kukwela, and also the Kukwela. So this season we're improving. Apart from say Osha 5 goals, I make it the only defender wash more goals since January. No. Any other winger be obeshan this season, your chromo say defensively he is good. And you see, so one will say Kukwela solid at least. Remember one because from when Ofri Lamasia echo Ebano, that is how Eba for on a small community of both physical football, and that is when where Kukwela Okukusuya sa Eniadeno. If you remember, the can say me a bop check up business card that should be now. Mommy say I have options to bring players to meet my back. Kukwela and Rudiger and first player Bakakofa. They are typical cha upon check up players or that Eniadeno into Washa. Oshia Saka, Oshia Salah, Oshia Ahmad, any Anthony this season. These are all wingers this season or more former or domina so they are to form. And then Jadon Sancho, I'm happy for him. Say Onya that goal.
Okay.
That goal can be a stepping stone for him. Say Chelsea for beating their standing contract. Enzo Maresca is happy with him. And Oba giving him man, give him a sign. If that confidence when you say Chelsea to me share that 25 million at the locking it to her, I think that he will be an improvement. There will be an improvement. He also almost finding cancer players and they believe that almost wait to improve. Right now the Chelsea owners and all the 3 owners no more. Feliciano, Egbali, and Todd Boyle, the co-owners and all the sporting directors and the head of global recruitment, Joe Schultz on here sporting all the co-sporting directors. They were all there and they won their first trophy. They are happy that whatever project they are doing, is a bit check akra. But what they want to do is they want to dominate. And finally, Omenyeska, Kakra, the Conference League on boy. They've also gotten a lot of money, finishing 4th the Premier League. They're also going to play the Club World Cup. Omenyeska, they're also going to play in the Champions League this season now. In league phase of about 4 home league matches. That was Stamford Bridge and Elizabeth Rangers. So whatever they are doing in terms of monetary wise, these people, they are genius people. Omit me act clear on books not very well. They're also going to sell a lot of players and the Champions League a year on my end. I want my eye aware saying Enzo Maresca, ni KPIs as a coach or by this season. Why to get a Champions League spot and also to win the Conference League. Also, I think that he's done very well. And Enzo Maresca, he's won an European trophy as a coach and also as a player. I think that this a stepping stone. Maresca can won the post match. A stepping stone for the past 6 games. So our coach, you almost say football coach or say cricket or one coach while working on the boys' mentality so well. And I know Kopama can postman say they know right now they know how to win difficult places, especially they call so city ground. So whatever has happened in the past 6 games, say 6 matches, no be aka Chelsea be top far. Obiasi Chelsea team because of the number of tough games are not born, and they've been able to overcome this, win the Conference League, top spots in the Champions League, FIFA Club World Cup, and I think that San Enzo Maresca kind a stepping stone. I see is it should be a form of a stepping stone now. Momentum in the international, at the liberty whatever project the clear lake for the person for enge.
Okay, right. Andra Ghana ne Nigeria bobo. Ghana ne Nigeria bobo na Ghana. Let's not home Nigeria for share a camion. Amaya, it's Mobako. No kwasem ne say coach no diagro. I have grown away the old. Catch him say your local league na yebono. Players na woman name players na a man for the PR. And an amono. Omunim bobo. We need a solid goalkeeper. It's as simple as that. Nation FC defender no. I will say and say it again. He is not a good defender. If we want the league, a defender will league anymore. You need proper scouting to get the best defender from the league. I'm telling you on authority say he is not good enough. The man opportunity biya nipa was winya, but all the time biya no omoye concede. All the time biya no yene Angola he win. To me assure mu. Yes odi zola chisa odi dinechi no mo fa no space no jato no mo ko yede tumu. Yene ni je 2 goals no mo she ni nyina afro no. Position ofa obo fa wie mu de ne no waku mu kra. Ghanaian local defenders fa ball ni fa wie mu waku mu omo ne am goalkeepers nyina wo de cross ball no gege waku mu kra. It was a bad defeat, but Obeka is a friendly game, so we will pardon them. Sir, on my board next we near that September.
Unity Cup no, so I'm about 3rd and 4th.
Maybe I'm talking about the competitive game.
Yes,
oh, we no who can be brown make say
friendly
game or they try BB. So we hope to see say in September I dey or try no. Ye be hu say ye ne Chad any Maliboa we will know say if indeed almost BB and almost